Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Hard West 2 with me, Break It On. Take a look at some of these menus in the top right. Can't access our inventory or anything else yet. And the game was nice enough to start us off with a fistful of dollars. A destroyed camp. We stumbled upon remnants of a camping site. The tents were ripped to shreds, the fire reduced to a pile of smoking embers. So that's where the horses came from. I think you're right. Whoever camped here came a little too close to the ghost train's path. They're probably long gone now. I shivered. Come on, let's keep moving. You can set up camp at any time. While at camp, you can chat with posse members to get to know them better. To the ruined cabin. A close encounter with the ghost train had left the shack in a shambles. Half of it was missing, but what remained was barely standing. Searching the ruins would be risky. There's gotta be something worthwhile around here. The things we found: hunting trophies, dull skinning knives, rusty snares, suggested the hut had belonged to a hunter. They were useless to us. After finding a whole half-eagle coin, we gave up and decided to abandon the hut to look for better shelter.
Where did all this snow come from?
Alright, an abandoned farm.
It's fucking cold.
The building offered little shelter, but we've managed to start a small fire. It was better than nothing. Suddenly, we heard a muffled thump coming from a low mound sitting under a cockeyed cross, right beside the broken fence. The sky was dark, but the snow gave the night enough of a glow that we could see we're alone out there. We stood above the restless grave. Thump, thump, thump. Lynn looked at me.
Jen, I want you to think very carefully about what you're about to do now.
Let's check it out carefully. It's fate, girl. Come on. Would you even be able to sleep tonight if we didn't dig up whatever the hell this is? We just need to be careful.
I'd sleep perfectly well. I hate you, Jen Carter.
We searched the farm. Once we found a pair of shovels, we started digging. We ran it for half an hour or so. The thumping intensified. Then, just as we unearthed the lid of a crude pine coffin, it stopped.
Hello?
A pale fist punched a hole through the coffin's lid. Splinters flew around us. The stench of a stale tomb billowed into the cold air. We recoiled, drew our guns, and leveled them at the hand.
What in tarnation?
More loud cracks and grunts broke the wintry silence, and soon a man rose from the grave, his skin pale and sickly, his clothes covered in dust.
Why am I here? What did you do?
The dead man hauled himself out of his grave. His mouth creaked open, and a dry cough produced a small cloud of dust. Then he raised a finger at us and spoke with a voice like a rusty nail-scraping bone. Let Flynn deal with him.
You'd better watch where you're pointing that rotten finger. We helped you, jackass. We dug you up.
I took a step back, giving Flynn some space. The undead thing grunted and trudged toward the house. We decided to follow. Inside, the stranger inspected every room, nook, and cranny. He grunted and coughed his way through the place, his methodical movements betraying a peculiar strength and purpose. He towered above us, and yet we still couldn't see his eyes when he finally turned toward us again.
Guns! I need guns!
Who are you?
Back in my breathing days, folks called me Old Man Bill. I've seen everything. Done everything the West has to offer. I've been an outlaw, a thief, a sheriff, a bounty hunter, hell, even an exorcist for a while. And now I'm this. Whatever this is.
What just happened?
One day, I just woke up in that pine box buried in my yard. At first I thought I'd been dreaming. I remembered this vision of a train of death, driven by the devil himself, and chugging its way straight to hell. When he spotted me, he started to laugh. Laughed so hard, he woke me up. When I realized I was trapped, I started hitting on the coffin's lid, trying to break free. It didn't hurt none. And being already dead, I wasn't afraid of dying. I just knew I needed to get free. I don't know how long I was down there. An hour, a day, a week. The next thing I remember was the sounds of shovels, of you digging, and then I broke through.
What are you after?
I'm gonna get some guns. Gonna track down the devil who woke me up. Gonna get him good. Then I'm gonna lay me back down.
The dialogue that I select down here is not the same as what my character is actually saying. There's extra dialogue. I'm not going to go back and read it, because it's still the gist of it. The Revenant shrugged. Dust spilled from his shoulders onto the floor.
Listen, we know that devil of yours, and he's one tough son of a bitch. Name's Mammon, and he's done us wrong too. If you're gunning for him, I reckon we should maybe ride together, at least for a few days.
You got yourself a deal. For now. Mister?
Jen Carter. This here's Flynn.
Whatever you say, kids. Call me Bill. Look, years ago, I stashed some equipment in an old hunting shack east of here. Let's wait out the blizzard. See if my stuff's still there.
Luckily, we got one more horse for you. Let's go. While exploring the game world, you'll often find side quests that can provide additional loot.
Can you see anything?
Alright, same description as before. So what are we poking around for here? Guns. Beneath the floorboards, I think. Plus some whiskey stashed in the cellar. And dynamite. Yes. Tucked up under the roof. That's a darn mess. Getting anything out of there would be bringing it down on our heads. Would be one heck of a feat. Or without bringing it. The girl's right. I grab the guns first, and then... any preferences? Grab us some of those sticks, Bill. We stood safely outside the shack of our new undead pal when rummaging through the debris. The place creaked and moaned in protest. It wasn't going to hold up much longer. Just as Flynn predicted, the busted-down hut collapsed, burying Bill beneath piles of broken timber. We stood there and gaped at the ruins, shocked that we'd lost the old man so sudden like that. Just as I was opening my mouth to say a few words over his new grave, that tough son of a gun crawled up from the wreck like it was nothing. He handed us the loot with a scowl. Gosh darn termites. Pretty slick, old man. Bill didn't say a word, just gave me a nod as we mounted up and rode off. You found loot for the first time. Open inventory menu by clicking its icon at the top right. Okay. You can assign the acquired loot to any character. Remember to experiment with different posse loadouts anytime you get something new. Alright, so the duck foot you get from having played the beta. You know what? Let's read the flavor text here. So, Dirty Copper. Created for law enforcement, this gun quickly became an outlaw's best friend. It may not be the most modern or accurate revolver, but its power and competitive price keep it popular. Damage 5, effective range 1 to 12. Then Duckfoot. Don't let the funny name dissuade you. This innovative contraption allows for a shotgun-like spread of fire in a pistol-sized package. Damage 4, range 1 to 10. Uncrippled, the character cannot move. Everybody has a dirty copper. Alright, a coach gun. The shotgun is a weapon of choice for stagecoach guards and drivers. It works best at short range, where it can turn any shootout into a bloodbath. So 4 damage, range 1 to 10, bullseye chance buff. The character adds 15% bullseye chance when using the weapon. And Wild Buffalo Rifle. A great rifle for hunting both wild game and people. Solid construction and good accuracy allow this gun to strike targets from a long distance. Range 1 to 18, damage 8. So what do you have here? So it won't let us open up the cards yet. So each character has their own traits. He has dynamite equipped. Also give him some dynamite. The rifle, she'll get a shotgun and he'll get a shotgun. So what traits do we currently have active? And skills. So Jin's skill is Shadow Barrage. Jin fires a series of demonic bullets that can pass through walls and cover to deal damage to any characters in their path. There's an upgrade, but we don't have access to that yet. Looks like all it does is increase the damage by 1. We get the upgrade once we get some cards. We also have horseback riding. When mounted, the character gains speed bonus and resists burning and crippling, plus the chance to hit them is reduced by 25%. Then Flynn has Shadow Swap. Flynn swaps places with a character in her line of sight. She and the swap character each lose 1 HP. And horseback riding, same trait that Jin has. Horseback riding again on Bill. He has Dead Man's Revenge. He needs at least a pair for it. Bill deals damage to every enemy in his line of sight. The damage increases by 1 for every 4 hit points that Bill has lost. And a Pistolero. The character inflicts +1 damage while using handguns. Okay, so we'll swap these out. Just like so. Check out the Red Cross.
Are we there yet?
Suddenly we've stumbled upon a scene so gruesome, so irrational, that even I curse silently. Looking down, we can see a patch of blood-soaked snow surrounding a flimsy cross. Someone nailed a naked man to it, then left him to die in the cold. I got off my horse and took a step closer. Flynn didn't follow. Be careful. Examine the scene. This man had been dead for days, left out in the weather. Animals had gotten to him, leaving behind only a scrawny, skeletal shape with a mess of dried guts spilled between his legs. Look for anything useful. Ignoring the stench, I kicked the snow and guts around the corpse in search of anything useful. I noticed something stuck inside the corpse's chest cavity. Could it be? Playing cards. Suddenly the corpse jerked up, twisted its neck, and snapped with its teeth at my face. Less. Friend of yours, Bill? I pull back immediately. Mun. The undead thing kept, thrashing? I think it's supposed to be thrashing about, hoping to attack us. But the nails and the ropes held tight. He's nothing like me. No memories. No free will. Only hunger. Probably revived when the ghost train passed nearby. Darned fool. Set our own revenant, and took a gun and kept shooting until the undead's head was gone. Only then it stopped moving. Without the head, the undead was now less lively. Now it was a simple matter of courage. That's -2 to health, right? You'll have Bill grab it, because he gets more powerful the less health that he has. At least the one ability does. Go on, Bill. Get the cards. So we get a 9 of spades, king of diamonds, and a queen of clubs. As he reached between the ribs, the headless corpse jerked, and I saw its sharp, broken bones jab his hand. At least he managed to get hold of the cards. Lively darn bugger. You've unlocked new cards. Open the cards menu by clicking its icon at the top right of the screen. By adding cards to a character's hand, you can improve their statistics. For example, select Jin and put the king of diamonds in his hand to increase his luck. So in the first game, the bonuses from the cards were the same across the board. Here, it looks like each character has their own traits they get, depending on what hand you give them. The 9 of spades will give a +3 to bullseye chance. Queen of clubs, +4 to speed. And king of diamonds, +13 max luck. Alright, so I want him to have the luck, and probably the bullseye chance. The speed I'll give to Bill. I don't think Flynn needs it because she has that shadow swap ability. I'm not going to worry about setting up our hands yet. Just going to go for the immediate benefits. Alright, Boomtown, a train station, surgeon's office, and a general store.
Oh, we need to get out of this shit.
As we came closer to the station, we saw a single train standing on a side track, and a sad round man with his hands in his pockets standing on the wooden platform. You're new, huh? Got in right before the avalanche. What avalanche? Eastern Pass is blocked. No trains, no roads, nothing. We're trapped here in this darn valley. What's happening in town? Darn Richie's playing sheriff again. Heard they found them a wanted man, a native. They're gonna hang him today. A native? Could it be Deer? Big guy? Wearing an army jacket? Don't know. Never wanted to have anything to do with this. We're off. Adios. Alright, we'll make camp and speak to our companions real quick. We set up camp and gathered round the fire. We could hear the wind howling around us like a heartbroken banshee. Even our horses huddled closer together. Talk with Flynn. Flynn sat there alone, staring at the fire. I sat beside her. For some time I was wrestling with myself. There's something deeply wrong with me. I could feel it. Something's wrong with me. Wrong? What do you mean? I don't know. I feel strange. Different. This thing Mammon did to me in Kestrel. It hurt like hell. Like someone was pulling the marrow out of my bones.
This Mammon, he spoke of souls, didn't he? I think whatever he wanted to do to us, especially what he did to you and Kestrel, well, I think he did just that.
You think he took my soul?
You really are something else, Jin. You're so goddamn blind to everything that's not under your control that you can't see shit. Look behind you, asshole. You're casting no shadow.
She stoked the fire, and the flames grew brighter for a moment. I turned to look behind me, and it took a moment before it hit me. She was right. There was nothing where my shadow should have been. As far as the fire was concerned, it was like I wasn't even there.
No one cares if you believe in a soul or not. The name doesn't matter. It's not just you. I feel strange too. I still have a shadow, but it's looking damn ragged. Whatever Mammon did to us in the ghost train, he hurt all of us. But you and And Kestrel, you got the worst of it. When it comes to shadows, you lost it all.
I was rendered speechless. Ask about her past. Flynn is Accomplice, Chapter 1.
What else you want to know, Jen? I already told you I was raised in an orphanage. I escaped that and I grew up on the streets of Mornwood till I joined up with the circus that came through town. That's where you and Kestrel found me. And that's it. I never knew my parents. The sisters at the orphanage told me that a lone man in tattered clothes and a haunted face left me on their doorstep. They say that was my father, and I have a feeling that wherever these powers of mine come from, they came to me through him. So, I'll find him one day, you know? When we're all done with this, I'll find him.
Thanks for talking, Flynn. Talk with Bill. We're both curious about our new, freshly resurrected friend.
Are you out of your goddamn mind? We don't even know what is he.
Before I could ask any questions, Flynn pulled me away from the Revenant. We're in the middle of nowhere, and we might be facing off against the devil himself soon. We've already lost good men. So yes, I feel like joining forces with a gritty veteran who can't die is a mighty fine notion. With talents like yours, it ain't like you got a right to complain about others hauling around that kind of strangeness. Flynn cursed, but she let me go. Tell me again about your life.
Back in my breathing days, folks called me Old Man Bill. I've seen everything. Done everything the West has to offer. I've been an outlaw, a thief, a sheriff, a bounty hunter, hell, even an exorcist for a while. And now I'm this. Whatever this is.
How did you die?
After I retired, I lived on this here farm with my wife and my son. For the longest period of my life, I found peace. But it didn't last. One day, an old enemy of mine showed up at my door, determined to cross me off his list of debts to be paid. I killed 7 of his men before the last 3 wrestled me down and held me tight. Then he drew his gun and put me down like a dog.
Jesus, it must have been years.
One day, I just woke up in that pine box buried in my yard. At first I thought I'd been dreaming. I remembered this vision of a train of death, driven by the devil himself and chugging its way straight to hell. When he spotted me, he started to laugh. Laughed so hard, he woke me up. I don't know how long I was down there. An hour, a day, a week. The next thing I remember was the sounds of shoals, of you digging, and then I broke through.
Flynn has questions. So, are you really dead?
I'm afraid so, miss. I got no pulse. I don't need to breathe. My insides have rotted away. I'm little more than dust and bone. Yet, I feel this strange power in me. I don't feel the pains from growing old anymore. I don't feel much at all. Everything seems gray, and the world tastes like ashes. Yet here I am. I linger on.
Ask about his past.
I ain't proud of my past, Carter. I roamed around the whole hard West like my boots were always itching to move. Never settled down. At least not till that farm at the end. It's a hell of a tale. But I need to think some about how I want to tell it. In my outlaw days, I ran with this gang called the Cardinals. Oh, bloodiest damn gang in the hard West. I was young and stupid and just fucking despicable. And I loved every minute of it.
To hold a gun on someone and know you have their life on the tip of your fingers? It's exhilarating.
Thanks, Bill. That'll be all. Great camp. Alright, so I'm not going to get to Boomtown yet. I know that's a combat encounter. I do want to try and do at least one combat encounter per episode, but this first one, it's not going to happen. Let's check out the general store and the surgeon's office. General stores like this one are the perfect places to pick up tools, weapons, camping equipment, and anything else one might need in their travels. Enter store. As we entered the store, another customer stormed out, red-faced and cursing under his breath. Inside the store, as we stood face to face with the owner, it became abundantly clear why one might leave the establishment enraged. More scumbags with empty pockets. What do you want here? Let's trade. Alright, so another dirty copper, another wild buffalo rifle, another coach gun. Skull crusher. A heavy-handed but effective tool for cracking opponents' skulls. Pretty straightforward. I'm gonna grab the pickaxe. And that'll be it for now. Your prices are outrageous. I like my prices like my mountains. Nice and steep. If you find them too high, feel free to take your business somewhere else. This is the only store here. Only one in the valley. To either pay up or get the heck out. Darn. What the heck is this guy's problem, Jin? Lynn was clearly losing her patience, but I silenced her with a gesture. Exit store. The surgeon's office stood at the very outskirts of town. It smelled of alcohol and gangrene. We couldn't enter, though. The door sat closed shut. A note tacked to it read, "Closed indefinitely." Bert and Ruck is back in town. I figured we should see what that's all about. Knock hard. We heard a loud voice coming from inside. Get lost. I told you people already. All business is closed until Richie's gone. Now scram before I shoot you. We'll be back. Come on. Let's see what's going on in this town first. We'll come back to it. Check out this Red Cross first.
My lashes are freezing over.
Oh, is that not gonna let me? Oh, I have to go to the town before I can explore anything else.
Can you see anything?
Oh, that's lame. I could have done with more. I'm assuming we get more playing cards there. That would have been nice for the upcoming fight. Well, either way, for now, I'm going to call it here. Next time, we'll check out Boomtown and get our second sampling of combat, but this time with Old Man Bill. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.